Grand finals just ended. We aren't even into the new season yet, and we already have so much drama. Back-to-back OC FNCS winners have been disqualified. A lot of people are saying this means Oatly has qualified to LAN, but Epic changed the rules, and a lot of people are super upset with how they handle this. We also have Savage and Rezon announcing they're looking for one. They've dropped Vadeal, which turned into a lot of drama. Now, a lot of this was in German. I'll explain exactly why Savage and Rezon dropped Vadeal, why there was so much drama, and what's ended up happening because of this. We also have the announcement that Fortnite is coming back to mobile on Apple, and I want to go through all of the leaks about the new season, including the new tournaments that have already been announced. There is a lot to talk about. Let's jump into it. So how has Oatly almost made it to LAN, and why did Epic take the spot away from him? So as always with OCE, it's going to be cheaters. We've had a bit of drama going on, so let me fill you in. So Major 1 was won by Daneth, Mace, and Skids, and Major 2 was won by Daneth, Mace, and Skids. But it turns out Skids has now been banned for cheating. Now, Skids has tweeted out saying that he did not cheat. He is not cheating. He said, God as my witness, he is not cheating. But Epic is apparently very sure that he is cheating. They have now banned him from the game, removed him from the Major 1 and Major 2 leaderboards, nullifying the LAN spot. So the reason why a lot of people thought Oatly made it to LAN is because if we look at OC Major 1, we had Daneth, Mason, Skids win it, but then Resigns, Kazi, and Alex came in second, which means if Daneth's team got banned, Alex would take the LAN spot. Alex has now come second in Major 2, which means he can't get the LAN spot, so it rolls down to whoever came third, which is Z-Dog, Oatly, and Bulldogs. But Epic is not doing that. Epic has now voided the qualification from Major 1, taking that spot and now putting it into Major 3. So OZ Major 3 now has 2 LAN spots, and Alex's qualification from the most recent major that just happened now stands with the Resigns and Anon. Now, a lot of people pointing out that this kind of sucks for Oatly, but it does actually make sense for Alex, because if Alex qualified with his Major 1 team, that means he'd be going with Resigns and Kazi, and then Anon just gets left out. Anon just apparently won FNCS, but now he's not in LAN. It was really awkward. It was really confusing. A lot of people are not sure what's going to happen here. Maybe give the qualification spot to Alex with his new team, and then, you know, then Kazi doesn't get to go, but that's a little bit weird as well, because technically he's now won an FNCS, so it was all a bit messy, and this looks like this is Fortnite's best way to do it, giving 2 qualification spots next season. Now, a lot of people are really excited to see the Oatly qualified to LAN. There was a lot of other universes people were talking about as well, because like if the spot rolls down in Major 1, that means then Volks would get it, because technically they'd give the spot to Alex in Major 2, which means that Volks, who came third in Major 1, would technically take it. It was all a bit messy. There seems like there was no really clean way for Epic to do it. It was always going to upset someone, and honestly, if I had to give my opinion, I love Oatly. Oatly's the GOAT. I have him on my stream all the time. He is such a legend, but I do think this makes the most sense. It was just gonna be weird to try to like pick teams and players don't get to go who actually won. It's a crappy situation. Anytime cheaters win a massive tournament like this, it's always gonna get messy, and of course it's on OCE, but there's now 2 spots up for grabs next season, so I know I'm cheering on my GOAT Oatly and Volks to hopefully take those 2 spots, because man, Volks has been absolutely screwed throughout his career. I'm not even gonna get into it, but I really hope Volks makes it to LAN. Next up, we have whatever's going on with Savage, Rezon, and Vadeal. So we woke up today to the news that Mr. Savage is looking for one, with Rezon qualling to globals. Now, a lot of people wondering what's going on with Vadeal, why they dropped Vadeal. Didn't seem super crazy. Their vibes a little bit off during grands. Maybe Vadeal has a better team option. Maybe there's, you know, something else going on behind the scenes, but these guys all went live and they completely aired it out. There was a lot of drama here. Now, a lot of it is in German, which makes it really hard. I've tried to trust the translations of people on Twitter who seem to have the best translation when no one's really telling them they're an idiot in the comments, but we at least got Mr. Savage explaining exactly what happened in English, so we know what's going on. So this is what Mr. Savage had to say about why they dropped Vadeal and why it got so messy and there was so much drama.
Yeah, all right. So we had a problem with Vadeal, right? You know, when it came to us, like even like mostly off stream, you know, when we were reviewing and stuff, it was just like sort of bad vibes. And then like, you know, when someone is spectating, we had like a rule, just like talk less, you know, because just let the people that are alive play. And then, you know, that just doesn't happen. And like the thing with like the attitude and just like team blaming and stuff, we mentioned that and just like nothing changed. And then he goes behind our back on stream and starts talking us, saying that I'm like that Vadeal is the reason why I quit, because he didn't want to play with me, which is just absolute nonsense. And then he's saying that Reason didn't qual Grands because he didn't play with him. That Reason literally got dropped 3 days before the FNCS.
There was a lot of other clips on top of this of, Vadeal crying on stream about being dropped, and then Rezon crashing out talking about, the things that Vadeal said about him. There was a few clips of, Rezon going back and watching clips of Vadeal talking about him, saying it wasn't fair, and, he's got a big ego, and that's why they weren't working as a team. There was a lot of pointing fingers and a lot of blame going around, but Rezon has now since said that him and Vadeal have made up. They had a 30-minute call off stream. They sorted everything. They're still super close. Mistakes happen. It does look like, looking from the outside in, I'm guessing they're not going to play together, but it's good to see they still have mended their friendship. It did get pretty heated there. I was not expecting this much drama right after grand finals. Normally it's kind of stuff that happens, during the season or at the start of a new season, but I'm guessing Savage and Rezon are still looking for one because Vadeal just didn't really fit the vibes of the team and there was some drama there, but I'm glad the friendship is restored at least. Savage didn't really make a statement after this as far as I can see, so I'm not sure who Savage and Rezon are going to play with. This does also answer the question, is Savage going to, re-retire now? He came back for that FNCS, wasn't really a very fun one from what most of us could see, stuck in a really rough spot going into grands, didn't know if that was going to completely kill the vibes and make him say, you know what, I don't want this isn't for me. Savage is sticking around. He's at least going to be playing the next FNCS at this point, and I have no idea who their third is. I'm not even going to start guessing because there's going to be so many players and such a big snake in when we get to the new season, or at least the season after the next one, because again, we don't even know if we're going to have trio tournaments in this upcoming Star Wars season. But for now, Savage is still competing, playing with Rezon, bunch of drama, but it got sorted. Speaking of the new season, we haven't really gotten any leaks. I was kind of expecting in this video to go through some leaks and some stuff that was coming out, but we don't really know anything. Fortnite officially posted the video that I talked about last week that got leaked, which again, looks really cool, but I've already given all my thoughts on this, so kind of going into the new season a little bit dark. We know what the map is going to look like, we know how long it is, we know the theme, but we don't really know much about what's going on with weapons. We've had a little bit of talk about vehicles. There's going to be a lot of Star Wars themed vehicles in this, but I'm kind of happy going in this new season without knowing too much. And again, as always, I will be doing a big stream today on Twitch and YouTube if you want to keep an eye out bringing in the new season. It should be super fun, and we actually have word of what is going on with tournaments, kind of. We have a few icon skin cups. It looks like they're turning a bunch of, the icons who are at least playing in the Pro-Am and still involved in competitive, their own icon skins of FNCS. So we have Clicks, Booga, and Lachlan all confirmed with new FNCS stars. They kind of look like the FNCS skin cups they launched during FNCS, and they're pretty cool. They're making them duo reloads tournaments, which I'm guessing is a bit of a, amp up into Pro-Am. A lot of the people playing in the Pro-Am have been practicing in these. I saw Clicks and Lacey playing in one recently. Apparently, a lot of these pros are locking into playing these going forward. A lot of you guys are asking, am I going to be playing in it? I'm going to do my best. I'm still in OCE for the Booga and the Clicks one, so I'm going to maybe try and play them on OCE, pick up a pro, pick up a content creator, kind of, get in and have some fun with it, try to, unrust as much as I can coming into FNCS Pro-Am. As far as whether I'll be able to get some games in with Peterbot, I'm not entirely sure. His schedule's pretty crazy. I'm getting into LA like 4 or 5 days before the Pro-Am, so if there's only one tournament, which is the Lachlan Cup, I'll try to get some games in. If not, I'll try to do the best practice I can, but it's pretty cool to see Fortnite running these. I think they're going to be really fun way to kick off the new season. We're literally going to have the new season, and then we have the Click Skin Cup the next day, which should be really, really cool. It is focused around reloads, so we don't really know what's going on with Battle Royale yet. I don't know if we're getting cash cups. A lot of you guys keep asking me, what is the schedule for tournaments next season? We do not know. All we know is we are not getting FNCS. That's going to be the major after. That's going to be the season after for Major 3. I've already talked about all that, but we have zero clue what's going on with competitive. I'm guessing same thing's going to happen as always. The new season's going to drop. Fortnite's going to drop the blog post and the competitive blog post. That's when we find out what's going on with cash cups, what's going on with the new season, because Fortnite's kind of doing this as like a full mini season that looks like it's going to be completely different. We might not even get trio tournaments. I'm guessing they're going to keep some kind of a trio cash cup going just to have something to keep the storylines going into FNCS, but technically they could bring out solo squads. It could be all reload tournaments for all we know. So I'll make another video recapping what's going on with competitive, hopefully when the new season drops and we actually get the full outline of what the plan is. But right now it looks like all eyes are on the Pro-Am. That's taking place in 9 days, which is crazy, right around the corner, and all the tournaments leading up to it are reload. Fortnite is fully focused on reload right now. In kind of unexpected but has been going on for a very long time news, we have Fortnite returning to iOS, so Apple devices in the US next week. Now again, it's such a long thing, you probably haven't even followed the whole story, but basically the rundown is Epic Games took Apple to court over the fact that if you buy V-Bucks on your Apple device, you pay 30% more straight to Apple. It costs you more. Epic don't see a cent of it. Apple make 30%, and Fortnite didn't like that. Apple does that on all of their devices. It's why they are the most profitable game developer in the world without developing any games, because of the income they make of other people running the games on their phones. Tim Sweeney did didn't like that, took them to court. It's been a back and forth lengthy battle where a lot of people said that Fortnite lost. They kind of won. At a certain point, there was different concessions made around the fact that you could then buy the V-Bucks off the app on a website, and then that wouldn't incur the fees. But then apparently Apple was doing shady things to stop people doing that. It's been a big back and forth, and now apparently Fortnite has won in that regard, and Tim Sweeney is happy enough with this where they are bringing Fortnite back to the iOS. So you'll be able to now play Fortnite on your Apple iPhone apparently starting next week. So this is very big for the game. Again, you guys probably don't care that much if you don't have an Apple iPhone, or most of you guys at this point are playing on PC, console, Switch, because you know you're probably not still following Fortnite if you haven't been playing on your mobile. But this was a big percentage of the player base that generated a lot of income for the game, a lot of attention on content, overall just made the whole ecosystem better. So seeing us get Apple devices back for Fortnite is really exciting. I mean, we might eventually go back to having mobile tournaments. I just recently put up a react video of the best mobile pro who made tens of thousands on mobile before switching to PC. We might see pros like that return to the game with their own tournaments. So I'm super excited to see what this means for Fortnite. It's still a little bit, you know, gray area. I've done as much research as I can to make sure I've got this story right, but Tim Sweeney has been tweeting out, the Epic CEO has been tweeting out as if Fortnite is coming back to Apple. So I guess it's fair to assume it's coming back very soon.